Thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction. I would like to thank Sophie for giving me this opportunity. And this is my first time coming to UK and my first time visiting Cambridge. I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very nervous. So this is the title for my presentation. And rule of positive charge on the extracellular side of the S4 segment in HCN channel gating. So before I begin my presentation, I would like to introduce our university in Japan. Our university is Jichi Medical University and located in Tochigi Prefecture. And here is a map of the Japan. This is Tokyo, and the Tochigi is just to the north of the Tokyo. These are some photos of our campus in spring with the beautiful cherry blossoms, and in autumn, the golden jingle trees lines the streets, and in the winter, on clear days, we can even see the Mount Fuji from our lab. It's a very quiet and beautiful place, perfect for the research. And also, Tochigi is also known for its nature, culture, and food, especially famous for the dumpling and strawberries. Tochigi is one of the top strawberry producing region in Japan, and we can even try the biggest strawberry parfait in Japan. And Tochigi also have beautiful nature and traditional culture, and this is for example, this is the Shrine in Nikko, a World Heritage Site, and also this is the Kingo Falls, one of Japan's most famous waterfalls. So I'm a third-year PhD student working on the ASEAN channels. First, I will introduce ASEAN channels. ASEAN channels are voltage-dependent that open up in hyperpolarization. There are four types in the ASEAN channels family, 1, 2, 3, and 4. In this research, we are focused on the ASEAN 4 channels. ASEAN 4 channels are mainly expressed in the sinoatrial node of the heart, where they regulate the heart rate. This is an action potential generated by sinoatrial node, and the right line indicated is the ASEAN channels open. And ASEAN channels are also found in neurons, where they control neural activity. Mutations in these channels can cause heart disease or epilepsy. These are reported diseases causing mutation sites in the human ASEAN4 channel. Mutations in ASEAN channels can cause bradycardia or sick-signal syndrome. If mutations reduce the current, the frequency of the action potential decreases. This leads to a lower heart rate or bradycardia. So this is the structure of ASEAN channels. 4 are first built from a single ASEAN channels. From S1 to S4 was from a voltage sensor domain, and the S5 and the S6 segments from a power domain. S4 is especially important for the sensor voltage because it has a minor positive charge. And these are the structure of the human ASEAN4 channel and the rat EAG KV channels. From the structure, we can see that the ASEAN channels have a longer S4 segments than other KV channels. Additionally, unlike other KV channels, the S4 segment in ASEAN channels move downward to open the pore and to make the ASEAN channels open. So in this study, we are focused on the S4 segment of the ASEAN channels. The question is why ASEAN channels S4 segment is longer than other KV channels. So far, the bottom of half the positive charge from the R3 to R6 amino acids have been important for the gating charge. Despite this, the rule of the extracellular side, the region positive amino acids remains unknown. However, mutations in positive charge amino acids on the extracellular side R0 to C have been reported cause the 6-senile syndrome, or R-1C to become cause 6-senile syndrome. Sinus brachial and 6-senile syndrome. Therefore, we thought that the positive charge on the extracellular side of F4 might play a role in ACN channel gating during the hyperpolarization. The first, we investigated whether the positive charge amino acids on the extracellular side are required for function. These are the amino acid sequences of the ACN channels family. The long S4 segments are conserved in all ACN channels. We made a series of deviation mutants and make the S4 segment become too short. When we deleted up the R-1, the current was lost. This result suggests that the R-1, R0, and K1 may be required for the gating in ACN channels during the hyperpolarization. Next, we looked closely at the structure of the ACN channel. We noted that the positive charge amino acid R0 and negative charge amino acid D444 was from salt bridge from the structure. Therefore, we examined that whether the salt bridges affect the gating of the ACN channels. We hypothesized the sequential coupling model between the S4 and S5 during the gating. As the S4 movement moves downward up in the hyperpolarization, the positive charge R0, R-1, and R-2 would sequentially pair with the negative charge D444 amino acids in S5 from salt bridges. Next, we conducted the two experiments. The first experiment was to create the double mutant by swapping the positive charge amino acids in S4 and negative charge amino acids in S5 to stabilize each state. And the next experiment was to introduce the double cysteine mutant to form a disulfide bond to fix S4 and S5. These are the results of a charge swaps double mutant. In this experiment, we applied the double mutant cycle analysis. If the delta G was larger than 1, that's the indicator of functional interaction. And this is the result of the delta G about the positive charge R0 in S4 and the negative charge D444 is about 3 kilocalorie per molar. And these are the coupling energy between the positive charge R-1 and -2 in S4 and the negative charge D444 in S5. The coupling energy result about the R0 and R-1 was the larger than 1, indicating they are functional interact. The next, we fixed the interaction between the S4 and S5 using disulfide bond. This is a result of the current mutation, and the current decreases in all 3 cysteine double mutant, and the current was significantly lost. And next, we add the DTD were to broken the disulfide bond. The current was recovered the same as the wild type. And finally, we add the hydrogen peroxide after the DTT treatment. And the current becomes smaller and significantly recovered, probably due to the reformation of the disulfide bond. For this result, we also can suggest that salt bridge formation between S4 and S5 affects the gating, and the state-dependent salt bridges from between S4 and S5 in the Eastern channels during the hyperpolarization. In addition to the coupling between S4 and S5, we also noticed that the K1 in S4 from salt bridge with K1 with S4 and from salt bridges with E290 in S2. Therefore, we also investigated the possible functional importance of the salt bridges formation during the gating in the Eastern channels. These are the results. We also do the same experiment. From the structure, actually S2 has a 2 negative charge amino acid D289 and E290 that come from salt bridges. Therefore, we made 6 combinations of a double mutant with a swap charge and calculated delta G. And these are the bar graph of the delta G. From the result, we can see K1 and -1, the delta G is larger than the 1. We can see that the K1 and E290 and the R-1 and D289 was from salt bridges and functional interaction. Although I tilted about the R0 and the E290, the delta could not calculate for R0 because there is no current, but the double mutant was recovered. The current was recovered. We also can suggest that R0 and E290 have a strong interaction. And next, we also performed the same experiments using cysteine mutation to form a disulfide bond. We observed that the K1 and E290 have no current, but interestingly, the R0 and E290 and R-1 CD289 have the current and have with a faster kinetics, suggesting that when the open state was formed in this mutant. We also added the DTT. The current was recovered, the same as the wild type. And finally, we added the hydrogen peroxide after the DTT treatment. The current significantly recovered. This result suggests that the state-dependent salt bridge also from between S4 and S2 and affects the gating during the hyperpolarization in the Eastern channels. Next, we use the voltage chromatophotometry to examine the S4 movement directly by human HCN4 channel. We screened from the R0 to the top of 3. As a result, we indefined the D364C mutant as the best for tracking the S4 segment. This is current and this is fluorescence. This is the voltage chromatophotometry result from the VCF construct. It shows a clear 2-step S4 movement, F1 and F2. F1 seems to respond to the per open S4 movement from the closed state to the intermediate state, and F2 was from the intermediate to the closed state. And therefore F2 overlaps with the GV curves. And this is mutations about on the other hand, in the R-1 DD444R double mutant, F1 was shifted in to the right, and F2 was shifted on the left, stabilizing the intermediate state. This result suggests that R-1 and D444 form salt bridges in the intermediate state. So finally, we performed a voltage confirmatory experiment with the mutation in the positive charge amino acid R-1 to C or R3775C with the unknown cause a 6 sinus bradycardia. We also, in this experiment, we tested R-1s because this cysteine mutation could not be used for the VCF experiment. In this result, the mutant shift, the F2 shifted to the left. The result suggests that the mutation suppresses the channel's opening and leading to diseases. Also, this is a summary of my talk, crowding the structure of the human SN4 channels. Positive charge amino acid R0 and negative charge D444 from salt bridges in the closed state, and R-1 and D44 from salt bridges in the intermediate state. And the salt bridge network in the extracellular S4 modulating description of these subbridges alter S4 movement and may lead to the heart diseases. So I would like to thank my lab members for their support in this research. Finally, if you go to Japan, please visit us in Tochigi. It's very close in Tokyo. Thank you for your attention.
Questions? Okay, here.
Yes, thank you. Very nice talk and appreciate it. So just wondering, how do you isolate the other channel current, like sodium and potassium, during the measurement? Because we know that normally the carrier of the current, IF current, are sodium and potassium, right?
Yeah.
So how do you discriminate those contamination from your measurement?
We just use the buffer from the SN channel and this is a higher current, and with the disulfide bond, this current was when the disulfide S4 was moved down, and the disulfide make the disulfide in the open state, and this is no current because it's a closed state.
So I would suggest just to remove the sodium or potassium in the extracellular solution and see if you have the same result.
Oh, we don't do that.
Yeah, just try that, because it will be easy to know if it is really the IF channel affected or the ion channel, sodium or the potassium.
Thank you very much.
Further questions? Just a bit different. Right, okay. David.
That was a lovely talk, and it's on one of my favourite ion channel families, so well done. The disulfide bridging that you're showing in this figure here, it could also be used to sort of give you an indication of whether you're getting domain swapping, because most ion channels, they will often, the voltage sensor, including the S4, often is closest to a neighbouring subunit rather than, you know, within the same subunit. So did you do anything like Western blotting to sort of show whether this was an intra-subunit disulfide bridge or whether it's an inter-subunit bridging event?
Use other drug?
No, it'd be more a case of what you've already done with making these bridging events, because you've put these cysteines on certain residues that are sufficiently close to each other. But it's whether the S4 is bridging to the S5 within a subunit, or whether it's S4 to S5 across to a neighbouring subunit, because that's what a lot of ion channels actually show. Unusually, we think that HCN channels tend to be inter-subunit between the S4 and S5?
Sure. Eastern channel is very important for the S4 and S5 in S4 and 5 helix. And if the Eastern channels was open, the S4 was the curve. Yeah, in this movie, we can see that if the Eastern channels was carved, is as far as important for the gating chart. But in this study, we are focused on the extracellular side. It's not important. It's not reported about the extracellular side positive charge.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's very well done. Very well done again.
Thank you.